Hey guys, good morning. It's a very busy scene over here at Menara BT in Kuala Lumpur for the launch of the most important car in Malaysia for the last, 10 years. Our first homegrown EV, the Perodua QVE, or QV as they call it. 80,000 ringgit with a battery as a service model. So on top of your 80,000 ringgit cash price or your financing, you'll be paying 275 ringgit for the battery each month. 52 kilowatt hour battery, but 435 kilometers of range, NEDC. Now, it's quite a busy scene over here, which is why I'll take you back a couple of weeks ago when I actually test drove the car in Sepang. So let's go back to that. I don't think this car needs much introduction. We've been waiting for this car for 2 years since it was announced. The most iconic car potentially since the Proton saga, because this is the Perodua QV-E. By the time you're watching this, we know the price, and that is 1,000 ringgit. Am I wrong? Or is this possibly the most good-looking, most handsome Malaysian designed car ever? This is a whole new look for Perodua. You have this really sleek LED headlights with some patterning over here. The thing is, this car reminds me of a lot of other inspirational cars, like maybe the Kia ED6, like maybe even the Ferrari Purosan, maybe the CHR, definitely. This profile is so sporty. It reminds me so much of either a Honda HR-V or a Toyota CHR. So you have nice body lines and character lines kind of silhouetting the car on the side. You have black gloss finishes on the A-pillar and the side mirror. Camera over here for the 360 cam. Nice amount of cladding, not too much cladding on the side of the car. And around the back, you have the nice straight profile. So you have a little bit of sacrifice on headroom, as we'll see later on, but I think the styling benefits just outweigh any of that. If that wasn't enough, you have push-out door handles. You see, I'm not used to it yet. And then you have the obscure door handles for the back seats as well. And onto the back, you have a nice fastback design, very sporty rear end over here. QVE name, not too big, nothing else on the back. The Perodua logo and QVE, and that's it. A nice light bar running across the entire width of the car, and the same pattern that you see on the headlights. Very tasteful, very nice. Only two colors, a gray and a blue, this one over here. Now, they haven't told me how much boot space there is officially, but it looks pretty huge. My guess would be like 450 liters of space in here. The low floor is actually pretty low, but you can actually raise it to have a flat floor instead, or mostly flat floor. But importantly, it doesn't have a power boot, but it is pretty light. And come on, how malnourished do you have to be to not be able to do this? The powertrain. Now, this is actually a little bit of the least important or least interesting parts of an EV, any EV, but the fact that this is Malaysian, suddenly it is more interesting. So you have a front motor, and supplying that is a 52.5 kilowatt hour battery by CATL, one of the biggest battery suppliers in the world, based in China. So you have a pretty much off-the-shelf battery powering a 200 and something horsepower electric motor up front that is 150 kilowatts and 285 Newton meters of torque. 0-100 in 7.5 seconds and a top speed of 165 kilometers per hour. Range is interesting because they showed us an NEDC number of 445 kilometers. That should amount to around 400 kilometers or 390-ish kilometers on WLTP scales for real-world range, which is pretty much par for the course of what you can expect from the biggest competitor, which is like the BYD Atto 2, also using a 50 kilowatt hour battery. This interior, I'm not sure if I'm split on how impressed I am versus a little bit disappointed, because this car, given the pricing and given how good it looks on the outside, this interior, the materials, disappoint me a little bit because it's very much what Perodua are used to, the hard plastics, and if they want to mix it up a little bit, they have the glossy finishes, but it's screwed together really, really well. What I like about what Perodua did with this interior is that it is stacked, okay? It's not just a big touchscreen. What you have is a 10.25-inch screen infotainment over here, touch screen. Then you have a 10.25-inch display as well for the driver's display. You have a 2-spoke steering wheel. The seats themselves, I could use a bit more bolstering because in the corners just now I was a little bit thrown around. Then again, this car is a city car. You might not even need it. You have a rotary gear knob over here. Ahead of that, you have a wireless charger over there. And what I do like about this car as well, you get physical controls for important things like brake regen. Right a button over here next to the gear selector. You have the auto park brake right next to that. You also have drive mode selector over here. It feels very flimsy, but at least you have a physical drive mode selector instead of whatever Proton gives you, which is just a touchscreen interface. So besides that, the most important thing I think is that you get automatic air conditioning plus physical controls for temperature and fan speed right here where you want them. Lock, unlock, automatic AC on and off, fan speed up and down, temperature up and down, AC on and off, and hazard lights. All you need really. Let's talk wheelbase. This one has a wheelbase of 2680 millimeters, which is more than the EMAS 5 by 30 millimeters, definitely more than most cars, definitely more than the Myvi, okay? If this is any reference point to a Myvi, this is way bigger than the Myvi in terms of wheelbase, at least. Once you go past a certain point, you feel that this car is spacious enough. Legroom, I have no problem at all. The thing is though, this car does have that sloping roofline, which results in a sacrifice in headroom, which means for me, which, you know, I am 165 cm and I have enough headroom. The floor is pretty high, pretty raised up, and therefore, given even someone like me, I have my knees sort of raised up from the seat over here, from the seat base. So my knees are hanging over here. The thigh support would be okay if I had shorter legs. You do get an armrest, which you don't get on the Proton EMAS 5, but the Proton EMAS 5 has rear air conditioning vents, and this does not. It only has a USB-A and USB-C port. Do you need air conditioning vents for the rear seats in a small car like this? Well, the EMAS 5 is smaller, but it does have rear conditioning vents. This one doesn't. Any qualms I had about the materials in this car does still exist. You have the, you know, slightly cheap feeling, slightly cheap looking plastics that are glossy. They don't feel great, but the way they're integrated into the car and the way they kind of have that secure feel that they would actually last a very long time is still also over here, which I think will be appreciated over the long run. Especially if you get that battery as a service subscription thing, this car could potentially last for a long time. And it could come to you with a potentially brand new battery and a mostly unblemished interior, given how hardy the materials are in here. You've got red stitching to denote some of the sportiness, and this is the same, by the way, for the front seats. And then you have this sort of fabric material for the seat cushion itself. So the places that you have the most wear, you have fabric, which takes wear better than leather or leatherette. And this is quite hardy textile material, so I'm definitely sure you won't be wearing this out soon compared to other, you know, seat materials. It was co-developed, the platform at least was co-developed with Magnus Steyr. Therefore, it should drive like an Austrian car. No idea how it drives. Going into the straightaway over here. Now, I did have a previous lap of the car, and that's really impressive. The road, or the conditions over here on the track was a little bit wetter. Now it's a bit more dry, so I can push the car a little bit more, maybe. Okay. Pickup is very, very smooth, very, very linear. I'm not even in sport mode. I think I'm on normal mode, man. And it really pulls nicely. Just now I was in sport mode. Like with the EMAS 5, I actually kept it in sport mode most of the time because I wanted a bit more edge, a bit more sportiness to the car. But the thing is, I don't think this car needs to be in sport mode to have fun. I think it can just have fun by itself. And look, okay, I'm braking fairly hard, turning in. It hooks up nicely. Power on, linear, no drama. Regen comes on smoothly as well, barely even feel it. Cornering. Putting load on the right hand side, takes it. It's a bit of roll, but that's to be expected. It's comfort oriented. Accelerating out of a corner, no drama at all. Oh. It feels fast. It feels fast because I know I'm on Sepang, and if you're in a slow car, it can feel slow because you're on a track. Okay, now the slaloms. First left, then right, more left. Oh, feels good. Could use more bowstring in the seats though. But woof, take it very, very well. Hey, the fact this is a Malaysian car, like a betul-betul Malaysian car though, just fills me with pride, guys. Braking hard, cornering, powering out. Maybe the best thing I can say about this car is that it feels like a Golf. It's predictable, it's smooth, but it's got some edge to it, it's got some talent to it, and it comes through. It's just, it's just so strange to look down and see the Perodua logo right there lah. Tapi it's strange in a really good way lah. So down, back into the pits, and that's all the time I get with the car. But so far, the impressions are very positive. Very positive. Because they had only 2 years to develop this car, which is insane amount of time crunch. But look at what they did. Look at how sorted this car feels on the track. All right, final thoughts on the Perodua QVE. Very, very impressive. I'm not being biased because I'm Malaysian and it's a bit of a Malaysian pride acting on me right now. But I love the way it looks. I see like the way it drives a lot. The whole battery as a service thing has yet to be proven, but it eliminates the pain point for me personally owning an EV. Is the insecurity of actually like owning it for 5 years and then having the battery be degraded so much that it'll be worth nothing. If you have a battery that is 100% by the time you sell it in 5 years, maybe, then that just makes the whole EV proposition a lot more easy to digest. And I think this might be my first EV.